let's get to Brock Hudgens. Brock, thanks for being with us. Let's bring you on screen there, Brock. And the President Trump on, I guess it was Friday, big meeting about college athletics. It's all a mess. He said, "Hey, I'd like it to go back to the way it was. Sorry, Mr. President, not going to happen. Can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle." Then they got the SCORE Act. That was okay. But then Ted Cruz said, "Nah, you don't have any votes. I don't have a single Democrat back in this. I need 7. I've got 0. That's not going to pass." Then he says, "I'll do an EO." Then Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce, said, "Well, that'll get challenged and there'll be an injunction." Then President Trump says, "Well, I'll take it to SCOTUS." And then Lutnick says, "Well, SCOTUS already voted in the NIL favor 9-0, and Kavanaugh wrote the opinion. So that's not going to pass." So this thing is a mess.
Yeah.
Nobody can fix it, but you've got an idea. I want to know what it is.
I mean, I got a lot of ideas. I appreciate you having me on.
Tell the audience who you are and how you came up with this whole thing, Brock.
Yeah. So I played college baseball at Charlotte, drafted by Milwaukee. Extensive sports background. I work with college coaches every day, athletic departments. I own 2 companies. One's a CRM and a website builder. So it's like you can have agencies within a system, and then they can help businesses grow. And then the other is a sports marketing platform where you can find camps on a map. So a lot of these colleges, they need more eyeballs. And that's kind of where I generate the more revenue from a standpoint of the camp business. And I see the ins and outs every day. A lot more than your regular person or even athletics. Like I talk to college coaches, compliance, athletic departments, top down, all the way down from the volunteer or the collective to the athletic director. I hear them vent. I know what they're talking about. They're not going to talk to each other and because of job opportunity, like they don't want to lose their job possibly. But I can tell you one thing that's very frustrating is, in my opinion, from what I see and what I hear from both that business side of university and athletics, is there 2 separate companies within one system. And you can't work together and grow the college landscape if 2 are against each other. One doesn't share data because they don't want to give it up. And the other is taking money from the students, athletic department, technically, to stay afloat, right? There's only 25 programs in the country that are profitable out of 300 plus Division Ones. So yes, but my idea, I have a lot of ideas. Where do you want me to start?
Well, I mean, it's a mess right now.
Yeah.
It's an absolute mess. And if you look at the way the college athletics is now, eligibility is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Nobody, I mean, the whole red shirt thing, it's basically subjective. There's a couple rules.
Yeah.
Grad year. There's the grad year. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, my son is going through it now. He's strained his lat. He's out for the season. So he's going to have to get a medical red shirt. Yeah. According to the rules, he'll easily qualify for that because he didn't pitch enough. But you got all that stuff going on. But then you got the collectives, the money that's going out. And basically what they were saying is look, this is going to sink women's athletics. It's going to sink the Olympic sports in colleges. I think the Notre Dame guy said they lost, their athletic department lost something like $300 million. I think it was Florida State lost $450 million. I mean, this is unsustainable. I mean, they just paid a 17-year-old quarterback coming out of high school. One of these schools paid him, what was it? They said like $12 million.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't sustain this.
There needs to be a cap. Yeah, there needs to be a cap on it. So like some of the college coaches said, there needs to be a cap. There needs to only be one transfer, They need to fix the Title IX compliance side of things because that's where no one knows the rules. Like I talk to college coaches and they're like, well, I don't know the rule. Let me go to ask compliance. And then compliance is like, well, I guess, it's like nobody knows. So there's no systems in place because I guess the technology, college and sports have grown so fast that nothing has been able to catch up because they can't hire people and you can't hire staff because you don't make enough money. But everyone's thought process is how do I stay in budget, not how do I grow my business in university, right? So how do you grow? You use the infrastructure that's already around it in the university. You have students, they're in marketing, right? You have students that are in videography. And these people want internships. They want to prove that they can do something to go into the real world. So the university academics, and the reason I brought academics and athletics as two businesses because they don't work together. If academics and athletics truly cared about growing their university, they would probably talk to each other and say, hey, let me do some internships inside of our university instead of sending them outside. Right? That's one. I think from a standpoint of like, what could we do? And like President Trump, for example, what could we do is set up a draft. My investor was like, Brock, I have a great idea. Like, let's set up a draft. They need to set up a draft. And instead of calling it the transfer portal, call it the draft portal. The transfer portal is negative, right? That means you're leaving. No one, it's a negative thought, right? Keep it inside and do a draft portal to where these NIL, you have a $20 million budget, right, per university. Let's say it's the 69 schools, the Power Fives and the Power Fours, whatever you want to call it. And they disperse it. 65% of it goes to football. 5% goes to women's basketball, 5% goes to baseball. And now you have a system where if a college player enters the draft, they have one chance, right, to get drafted. And they don't know what school they're going to, which now as a student athlete, I'm thinking twice about even entering it, right? I'm like, I don't know if I want to enter the draft because I don't know if I want to go to Oregon, or if I don't know if I want to go to Carolina. I'd rather go to Duke. Like we work with Duke, we work with Carolina, we work with Arizona State, Arizona. I work with a lot of colleges. And I hear the same thing from everybody, So it's very frustrating to hear. One, it was very frustrating not to see a college coach. I know Nick Saban, yeah, but Nick Saban's not talking to college athletics. He's not talking to the baseball team, the softball team. He's in his like bubble over there in the football stadium, making $12 million, which is great. I would love for Nick Saban to back me up, because I can build the infrastructure using agentic AI for exactly what NCAA needs. Another idea I have, why does the NCAA build a fintech platform? That's
a what?
A fintech, like for payment processing, right? There's other companies out there that are taking money, processing fees. They're generating $16 billion in athletic department money, $40 billion possibly from partnership deals. And they could be using that processing fee money to then push into the NIL.
They should have their own NCAA clearinghouse without the commissions.
Insane.
And then the other thing that came out, I think it was Urban Meyer said this, that agents are charging up to 20% of NIL money. You get drafted, it's or football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is. It's
20% nuts.
Yeah, it's 3 to 5%, but they're gouging these kids at 20%.
Yeah, because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And then like in that meeting, there should have been a couple coaches, and quite frankly, there should have been a couple parents in that meeting. I mean, there were no parents either. I mean, I was the only parent there, and I was with the question asking group with the press corps. There were no parents there. I mean, parents are involved in this big time, right?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I have a kid, he's 6-year-old, and people tell me every day, he's like, that kid's very gifted, like genetically gifted. And he really is. But, I think that there can be something done. It's just, it's going to take more people than just one meeting that they did the other day. Like, I was very frustrated. I was standing up yelling at the TV, right? Like, it was very, I don't know. I just felt like that was 2 hours waste of time. They could have got a lot more done, and athletes and coaches could have been there, and some ideas could have already been in place instead of saying, let's come back to the table.
I don't disagree with that. I thought at the end of the meeting, it was like, well, we're going to have another meeting.
Yeah.
But the two ideas that came out of it,
the
SCORE Act, which wasn't a bad start, but Cruz said, I don't have the votes.
Yeah.
That's bad. And then the EOs, Lutnick said it's going to get denied, and SCOTUS already voted all these things down 9-0.
Yeah.
So both ideas were going, it was like, okay, but they're going nowhere.
Yeah.
And meantime, and then they were saying this really can't go on another season, but there's no, and the NCAA is just, I don't even know why they exist. I mean, I think it was the SEC that said, why don't we just pull out of it? I mean, I don't even know why do we have an NCAA? I don't even know what they do.
I use AI to ask it what they actually do the other day, because I was like confused too. But they do the laws, they do the governments, they do the compliance side schedule. Make sure that everything's They don't do any infrastructure. They don't do any business growth, marketing, nothing like that. They rely on
But
third parties.
here's the problem. If and I brought this up the other day. So the NCAA division, the second division, D2 schools, they're voting. I think next week, they're voting on 5-year eligibility blanket, red shirt, medical, don't play, do play, whatever. You get 5 years of eligibility. That takes all that subjective stuff off the table. I'm 100% in favor of that. And I said, the NCAA could pass that. The D1 could pass that this afternoon, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to pass it. Why? I give everybody blanket 5 years of eligibility. The second thing is, I love the idea. One time in the portal, that's it. One time.
Yeah.
Because right now you got kids going in the portal for 4 years.
Yeah.
Freshman portal, sophomore portal, junior portal, senior portal.
And that's
they
not
just
good
keep
for
getting more
us.
money, and there's no education. You had who was a quarterback from Miami? Brock, what's his name?
Yeah, I don't know his name. I forgot. Yeah.
Brock something. Guy that came from Georgia.
Yeah.
They asked him, well, you graduate, what are you going to do? He said, oh, well, yeah, Miami, yeah. Well, I've been here 2 years. I've yet to take a class. I've yet to step in the classroom.
Yeah, he's graduated.
I mean, what?
Yeah, there needs to. I think that when I was playing, I played at Charlotte. I was there 4 years. My first 2 years, I got like 10 innings, I think, or 20 innings. But my third year, I broke out. But I had to walk into the coach's office and tell him like, "Hey, I want to play. I want to start." So I kind of got yelled at because I went in there and told him I wanted to do that and deserved to start, which I shouldn't use the word deserve. But I ended up starting against Wake Forest, and I didn't look back. But there was no transferring back in the day when I was playing in 2011 to 2014. You had to grind your way through it, and it kind of helped you as a person. But I think what could be done from a standpoint like keeping people there and retaining them from a player standpoint, athletic ability, and is doing a tiered like a startup, right? You have a 1 year vest and then 3 years of scholarship. So, or 4 year scholarship. So if you're there for 1 year, you only get 25% scholarship and you have to pay back the rest. 50% all the way to 100%. If you're there for 4 years, then you get a full scholarship and it's completely paid for depending on what your scholarship was, right? So if it's 100%, some baseball is like 30 something scholarships, I think. It used to be 11, but a lot of schools can't afford that because of the NIL going around. It's just a mess. It is honestly a mess, and it's bigger than NIL, and people don't realize it. The problem I think is the universities, they work in the business. No one really works on the business. They don't work on growing the game, as in like marking it out. I've never seen a Facebook ad for a football game.
Yeah, and the other thing is, look, Brock. The other thing is that's a disaster here, is the donors putting huge amounts of pressure on the athletic director at these big colleges and getting these collectives and getting the money in and paying the players more and more money.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's tough now. This is why you can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle. I mean, how do you go to a player that's going to get $2 million and say, no, we're capping you at 50,000? I mean, it's lawsuit. And then they said, well, there's got to be antitrust, no lawsuits. Okay, well, good luck getting that done in our trial lawyer environment. You got no shot at that.
Yeah.
So I don't see, there was no answer. I mean, I commend the president for addressing this. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Got to start the conversation. But I mean, it basically we struck out because nobody's going to be able to fix this. And the NCAA doesn't want to do anything because they'll be sued.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like if they go to 5 year eligibility, which D2 is going to do, I think, in a week, they know immediately somebody will sue them, and then they got to deal with that.
Yeah, I think the colleges are going to have to take it, and unfortunately with NIL, like the college coaches in the athletic department have very little opportunity to help because of the rules in place.
Right.
And so if they gave more opportunity where the coaches are more involved and the university is more involved, and the collective, it turns into a marketing or education platform instead of a raising the capital standpoint, then that could.
You got some good ideas. We got to keep fleshing this out. We know there's a problem. We got to find the solution. I think you're part of it, Brock. Brock, people want to follow you. I have to go. I got to bounce. Where do they go?
You go to Brock Hudge on Twitter. or go or my LinkedIn, I guess. So BRCK Hudge HUDG. I'm talking
All right.
about this 24/7 now.
We'll see you again, Brock. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for your
Thanks for having
insight. Don't forget, national broadcast today, 1 o'clock, all of our apps, Maryland at West Virginia in Morgantown. I'll see you at 1 p.m. Great to have everybody with us. And thanks for joining us today. And I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early after the game. Coming up, Michael Patrick Lay. Keep it right here.